Hi, I was just looking at a comment here. Alrighty. Oh, come on in.
All that.
Yeah. First of all, life. Life is crazy. Oh man. Hope you're all doing fine out there. I know it's crazy land out there. I know it's a little bit cray cray. Um, a lot of people have commented to me. It's just, well, the weekend's going to be crazy. We have the opposition with the sun and Saturn, and this, and anything with an opposition to Saturn. I mean, it does cause havoc. It does cause where you really have to keep yourself. Good afternoon, Charlene. You really have to, be conscious of how you're reacting, 'cause it can make you extremely owly. It can make you very abrupt. And we are, now that Pluto's in Capricorn, things are just ramping up, man. You just look at the world scene. I mean, the UK's jails are full, so they're going to let people who shouldn't be let out, and people who, why are you jailing 11-year-old for swearing at a horse, a police horse? You know, this is the craziness of the world, right? This is the wackoness that we're, we're in this, you know, just weird dynamics and changes that are coming in. And we are coming from this new moon, and now we are in eclipse season. Well, partial eclipse season with this, a partial full moon eclipse that's going to be coming up in the next week or so. Uh, it's bringing in the intensities. Not everything you're going to see, things are going to get where they are going to be clipped off, right? Relationships, my daughter texted me, should I go over this, blah blah blah, this, and I'm like, no. Don't start anything new, don't bring back anything, from the old. It's, you got to move forward. You want to move forward in a new way, you have to trust it. And that can be frustrating, it can be tough, because it's like you're so used to doing things in a certain way or having it done in a certain way, and you're changing it, but you're wanting either that it's seeming to be longer, or you're wanting some kind of reaction to be in a, like, oh, well, when I used to do it this way, it was so much easier and everything, went smoothly. Like getting a new software, and then you have to learn how to utilize the new software. Once you get to know it, it's fine. It's like people who can't use, a Mac. So if you're used to working a Mac, and you put you on a PC, people are like, "Oh, how do you use the PC? It's so hard." I can use either. Like, give me a PC, fine. Give me a Mac, fine. To me, whatever. you know. Same with if you're on an Android or a iPhone. iPhone people like iPhones. Android people like Androids. But to utilize both of them can cause people to go into a little bit of a flip out. And that's what we're at this changing of the guards. Like, it's like coming in and seeing things the way they used to be, getting a glimpse of how things were structured, how things were done. And there's going to be a new order coming in, there's going to be a new way of doing it. And this is causing havoc. This is causing frustration, because we're being shown what the old way was. We're being shown what wasn't working. We're being shown in real time that, hey, these policies don't work. We're, time and time again, I can take what we're, right now with the Calgary restrictions. There's so many things that, you know, should have been done or could be done if you're wanting to make a green city. So my thoughts, you're wanting to make a green city. Cool. All right. Let's make more green spaces. Let's plant more trees. Let's make the top of buildings where you have gardens and stuff on top of buildings, right? Because that lowers the emissions. It helps keep it cooler in the building. These are all been proven facts. You're doing all these builds in Calgary, Put solar panels on them. Have them have that alternate way of, yeah, we're gonna, all new builds have to have solar panels on them. This, part of the impact. Hey, you know what, Calgary? Yeah, there's going to be some restrictions, but you know what we're going to do it for you guys who have you got a lot of people have gardens. Hey, we have Calgary has water trucks that they bring into neighborhoods for people to utilize when water mains go down, when they're, if you need extra water for doing things. They have huge trucks that come into your neighborhood, right? Why aren't they being used? Because there is water. The river's up, the reservoir's up. Anyways, don't get me going. I've already went, right? So, hey, Cynthia. So there's all of these craziness that's going on, and you're seeing it, and it's like, okay, we got a free water pipe from San Diego. Thank you. That was really nice that we got a free water pipe. But now, how come all of these other ones are going? Like, what's going on here? We're seeing the cray craze coming up, and that's what, of course, Neptune retrograde is causing havoc. I noticed gas went down, and I know a lot of people are cheering. Gas went down to about $1.30 today, and you're just like, okay, gas is going down. What's going on? It's a good thing, but yet a bad thing. So there's something else going on. Yeah, we want to have good gas prices. We don't want to be gouged, but there is, when there's something like that, when the barrel of oil is going down, I just feel like, oh my gosh, something's going to come in and hit you in the ass in a couple months, right? When things are getting, when things get cold. So the craziness is really, I feel, is starting to ramp up. And this weekend is not going to be any different. This, I think, is going to be the last weekend that's going to be the hottest for some time, because after that it goes back down below 20 degrees. This weekend's all going to be above 30, so we got a lot of heat coming in. So things are ramping up. Things are getting a little bit cray. So what do you do when that all happens? Well, you got to look to see how you can ground. How can you, what are the things to get you out of your head? Why are you so cranky? What's frustrating you? For me, a lot of the frustrations, that comes, there's a lot of frustrations that are happening, but things that are going on that are out of my control. I can't control some things. And you want to control them. You want to have control of those, but they're causing a frustration. So, got to pivot, got to focus on something else, got to tweak it in some way. I can't continue to focus on what I can't control, right? And this is where, things are, you're learning the new program, you're learning the new ways, you're learning how to adjust and pivot in this. And this is where she misread my email at Acadia, which is fine. So I don't work tonight. Cool. I don't work tonight. I get a phone call from the new job where they didn't loan because we can't open the store in Chinook, right? Because, well, anyways, can't open the store in Chinook without having signage. If you don't have signage, Chinook won't let you open. It doesn't matter if you got whatever. You got to have signage on your door or, above your store. So our signage was supposed to come down today from Edmonton. It didn't get loaded on the truck. And I just sort of laughed. I just like, oh, okay. It just makes so much sense. Plus, I mean, yes, Mercury is at a retrograde, but it's also, going back forth over the shadow parts that it was in retrograde. So a lot of, things that you want to happen that are out of control, that you can't control, are happening. And it causes frustration. It causes, where you feel just, like you want to control it, but you can't, right down to little things where um making the tweaks and the changes that you want to make within my business, and where some people will like it, some people won't like it. Well, that's out of my control. I can't help how people are going to feel. I'm doing the last, sort of hurrah for people to get moon readings for the end of the year for $200 because my moon readings are gone up to $50 a reading. And so this is where it's like, okay, you can get the last 8 for like $25 each. I've offered payment plans for people and things like that. That's all I can do. You just got to put it out and you got to allow it. But in your mind just starts doing, the little, well, nobody's doing, blah, 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 blah. That's my mind. I don't know about anybody else's, but that's my mind. Just go, blah, 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 and all this stuff is all popping up and all over the place. So, but I look at the astrology and I just look at this and I'm like, well, all I can do is give it up to God. That's all I can do. I got to give it up to the Holy Spirit and ask her inner peace and a miracle because it's out of my control. And that's the whole thing. So if wanting to control everything, you're wanting everything to go a certain way and it's not going a certain way. And if you're sitting around dwelling on it, that's the whole thing. It's like, well, I wish this would happen or I wish this. And it's just like, oh, it's going to just eat you away more, baby. It's just going to eat you away more. I'm just saying, all you can do is one foot in front of the other and breathe. And breathe. Life is stressful right now. There's a lot coming upon people. I just watched it. All I could do, like it's the news. Some of the things that are coming across my feed are horrific. From the attack on, I think it was the attack in Germany. Was it the Jewish, or it wasn't Jewish? Was it a Jewish consulate, or the consulate, the Jewish consulate in Germany? A young 18-year-old with a machine gun went in there firing. I mean, like, okay. The shooting down. I mean, this is the astrology. As I say, it's extreme, right? We have that young 14-year-old going in and shooting up his school, right? And the school had warnings about it before it actually happened, which is even scarier, right? To, a guy who is, because he's belonging to a certain political party, wasn't charged for making gestures of eliminating other people, creating them to be unalive. The language you have to use. I mean, this is the bonkers of it all. To having our PM, when asked a question, totally ignores the person who's asking the question, legit questions, and just like, no, well, this is what we're doing, blah blah blah. And it's just like, okay, you didn't even answer my question, jacko. That's the craziness. That's the extremes that are coming out to the things that they want to throw Trump in jail for a misdemeanor, for something that was mislabeled, to making it a huge federal case, an offense. Like, when you look into it, it's like, oh my God, like, you're making things that are being made more complicated. It's like a 3-year-old making things complicated. That's what it's like. That's where it's at, right? And so this is so important, to find your green space, to find your spot. Get out of your head and get into your body. Like, get out of your, it's find things that are going to help to ground you. Because it is, the intensity is there. I know a lot of people, I'm getting a few clients coming that have contacted me about their business, issues with their business. People aren't, what's going on. Like, all of a sudden, all of these, contracts have been canceled. And I have one client, where for her, like, I've been seeing her for years. She buys a group package, and she's like, I need an emergency one, Mary, because all of these contracts, I don't know what the fuck's going on. And I'm like, I know what's going on. Pluto just went back into Capricorn. But I wasn't expecting, like all of these crazy, like, and these are hundreds of thousands of dollars contracts. They're not like, oh, little bitty contracts. This is why she's panicking. But that Pluto going back into Capricorn, what does work for you? What doesn't work for you? Going back into the old, it's restructuring things that need to have a restructuring, looking at things that need to have, things that need to be eliminated and things that need to go forward. People will be reassigned in their work, right? You think this is where you're going, you think everything's going fine, a reassignment might come in, or all of a sudden the job that you had has just been removed, right? That's Pluto back in Capricorn. Pluto's giving you that, this issue, like you think it's a problem, but it's a reprogramming of getting you to think in a different way and to trust in a higher frequency that's coming in, that is saying, hey, you know what, yeah, I will guide you, but there are things that you just have to trust, and it's a blind trust, it feels like, and you just have to do it step by step and go forward with it. And if you need to get out and scream and yell and whatever, you can do that. That's the other thing. I was looking at on this one guy, anyways, he's a little news guy on TikTok, but people are paying to go scream in the woods 18,000, no, yeah, was it 18,000, 18 to $20,000 for a weekend or something, for women to gather or to release any pent up um anger. And there's another one that's for men, how to make you a real man in a weekend, and they're like $20,000 or $18,000. um I'm just like, whoa, you know, to just, there's these extreme groups that are coming out to get people, and people are, you don't think people have money, but they're going to take their last bit of savings to do this because they are in such searching for something, right? They're searching, they're grasping onto something. This is going to work for me. This is what I need, and it's like, I need this quick. In a weekend, I'm going to be like this. In a weekend, I'm going to get rid of all of the last 20 years of anxiety and frustration and anger by beating on a tree and beating on the ground. And I'm like, okay, yeah, it's going to help some. I really, it'll help some, but it's not, there's some core elements that aren't being touched with it, and there's core elements that you need that tweaking or that readjusting and allowing. It's like people are going to be looking for that quick fix, and that's going to go in with, people who are going to go into their drugs and alcohol, the ones who think, you know what, I used to take so many grams of whatever it is, and they haven't taken it, or they've been clean for a while and they're just like, fuck it, I just can't take it anymore. And they take that, what they used to take, and their body can't adjust to it, and that's where you get the ODs and things like that, and people just leaving the planet. That's the part of the extremes, that's part of the craziness. So this is we're coming in, September is, we're heading into it, for as we're going into the rest of the year and heading into 2025, right? I said 7 months, so I'm giving us till April. We're heading into some crazy waters right now, and we really have to, and this is only the beginning, we really have to find that anchor within ourselves, that anchor within our soul, and that connection to our divine, and trust it, and not just go willy-nilly looking for a quick fix, because that quick fix, or that quick rush, or whatever it is, isn't going to give you what you think it is. It's like rushing from point, you start at A and I want to be at Z, but you haven't done anything in between, right? You just want the last bit. You don't want the middle part, but it's the middle part where it's the growth, the connections. It's where the love and the laughter, it's where the tears and the joy and the sorrow are. And you have to allow for those to come through in order to have that growth, to have that beauty, to have that substance within your own life. And that's where we're at, babies. It's a hell of a ride. It's a hell of a ride. Mr. Tracy might yell again, so he's just calling Mateus because he's making his lunch. So I don't think he heard you, Stephen. Mateus, Papa wants you. There we go. So, oh, big breaths, everybody. Big breaths out there. I had physio today. Oh my God. So she did cupping on me today, and some new like I have these exercises I have to do to this green band. I got the green band somewhere. Anyways, and I have to do my little ones. I did them there, so I don't have to do them again today. Oh, the agony. The heat on my neck, when they put the heat on my neck, that's heaven. I don't care if it's plus 30 outside. Getting heat on my neck is just fabulous. Whew. Let's see what there is. What's this one? You gotta get up, man. See, the Four of Pentacles. So the Four of Pentacles, I mean, he's grabbing onto it. Four of Pentacles has to do with greed. What are you trying to contain? What are you trying to hold on to? Right? Are you know, what is it that you want to keep? And that, but you need to let go of. You know, more is coming in, whatever it is that you're just like, nah, this is my last, whatever it is. This is the only relationship in my whole life. What, blah, 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 you know, and I got to hang on to it. And it's showing you that you can't do that. That's not going to allow for growth. It's not allowing for newness to come in. And with it, when you do let it go, in comes the Nine of Pentacles. There is new growth. There is something new coming in. We just have to trust and allow. And that's hard. That's hard. That's part of the hard work. That's part of the new, it's part of the new software coming in. And it's a real bitch. It really is. But it, you know, Uranus has gone retrograde. So Uranus is in Taurus. So there's going to be unexpected surprises that are going to come in, both good and bad. And we just have to, with it, with Neptune and with Saturn, and Saturn's opposition to the sun, and with a quincunx with Pluto and Mercury, we just have to, you know, allow ourselves to work what we can work out, because there is a lot of things that we can't see. And our final card is, of course, Mr. Devil has to come in. So watch what's tempting you. What are those temptations? What is leading you to the place you don't, that you think is going to be better? You think it's going to be better, but all it's going to do is get you just tangled up with the wrong kind of energies, the wrong kind of things, and you're going to sabotage. It's going to be a sabotage, and you don't want to sabotage. You know, there is something good coming in, but this is saying, so you got two cards here that are saying, you know, hey, Buttercup, you better be ready. You know, and I know it's only 6 days in. It's only 6 days into September. But as I told you, for the next 7 months, we're heading into some of the craziest weather that we have never astrologically. We're heading into a lot of craziness that we've never been into when it comes into our physical, mental, and spiritual states. And I don't know how much I can get you guys ready. You know, it's like, I really, it's like, I want to take everybody and say, you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to do this. But I can't, because you got to do it. You got to do it. Right. And this is where a lot of people, this is where we're going to see people lose their shit, you know, mentally, lose their stuff physically, think that they got it all together, and they don't. And they just bet it on the next best thing, right? Thinking that's going to get it to me. That if I take that weekend, God's going to be with me. But you know what? Analogy came to me today. I was listening to one of my podcasts this morning, and he says, the song, "Hole in My Bucket." Dear Liza, there's a hole in my bucket, dear Liza, dear Liza. You're patching it, what should I patch it with? And you're trying to patch it with, oh, I got this weekend, that'll patch it. That'll fix it. Oh, I got this, that'll fix it. But what really fixes it, what really does the fixing is the true and tried, the step by step, the meditations, the prayers, your connection to your divine. Those are what fixes the hole in the bucket. Those other things are just kind of like little maybe additives. Maybe they'll help you, maybe they won't help you, but they're not going to fix the hole in the bucket. They're not. Trust me. Trust me. And the reason I know, because I know, been there, done that, you know? Yeah, band-aids. You can't. So if there are things and for some it's going to be like, what do you mean I got to get rid of this? What do you mean I got to do this? Yeah, that's what you got to do. You want this relationship to work? Well, sometimes it's going to be wobbly. Sometimes it's going to be frustrated. But you can't just like, oh, well, let me just try this person over here and then see if that's going to enhance my relationship with this person. No, it's not. It's not. You know, or this if I just buy this outfit's just going to make this so much better. Not really. I mean, it might be a nice outfit, maybe you need it, but it's not going to make things any better when things are already fucked up here and fucked up here. This is where you got to start working. You got to start here. You got to start with the heart. You got to start with the forgiveness. You got to start working there. And then it goes to here. It's a constant flow, and it's a hard one. So there you go. All right. I'm going to send you guys out so much love. May the Lord and Lady watch over and bless each and every one of you. If you are wanting to book a reading, definitely get a hold of me. Or if you are wanting to get the last 8 mini moon readings for the rest of the year, they're $200. All right. Love you all, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye, everybody. See ya.